How you doing? How you been? What's going on? What's good? How you getting it in? Body getting it funny. What's going on, people? What's good, people? It is a day of another day that we call Wednesday. Anybody being said, what's going on, people? Everybody's doing everything as far as being prosperity in your life. You know, we're knocking down doors the best way you can, you know, to try to make this life work in your favor. Anyway, that being said, I want to talk to you about the story at hand now. I've talked about this before, but I'm going to bring it to your attention again because I noticed that an uprise of it has come to surface once again. And I'm going to talk to you about the down low lifestyle. Now, the thing about it is that every time they talk about the down low lifestyle, they only talk about the men, you know, the men on the down low, but they never say, I'm not going to say never, but as far as what I've seen, I've never seen anybody talk about the women on the down low. Now, the thing about it is that when I watch, I was watching TV today.
The real, what they say, they want you to always keep the real.
You know, this talk show. And they were talking about, you know, in reference to women kissing and stuff, and they wanted to ask women and stuff, you know, how many women have actually kissed another woman, and a lot of women in the audience clapped. Now, the thing about it was that she made another references to, you know, that it's not gay when two women kiss each other because it's accepted when it comes down to men as what society says. And when I say this, I do not mean all women, I do not mean all men that they accept this. But the thing that got me was, one of the girls suggested that, what about if two men, and the whole audience, most of the audience said, ew, that's nasty. Now the thing is that get me is, I want to know, why is it that the women have not stood up when they hear, you know, two men and they say, well, we're doing it too. We're doing exactly what y'all doing. It's the only difference is that it's shamed on y'all doing it, but we doing it too. I've never watched a woman stood up and say, why y'all girls acting like we're not doing the same that they're doing? Why you girls act like we don't know what they're doing because we're doing it as well? I was waiting for someone to step to say, you know what? If you're going to make it wrong for both. You know, if you want to do society right and wrong, you know. You know, but it's funny because the thing about it is that I always said this before and I'll say it again. The down low lifestyle is way bigger than the gay lifestyle. And when I say gay, I do mean as far as people that stand in their truth, not hiding, not fronting, not sitting up there trying to perpetrate, but in the same breath, you have someone who on the down low who actually come onto the page and who want to be, you know, acceptable. I don't want to be different, so I'm going to jump on the gay people too, because they haven't come out yet, or they have someone on the side that they're sleeping with, but they don't want people to know that, you know, that they're sleeping with them. And the thing about it is that they get on the men so bad that the men are sneaking and doing it. And due to the fact that men are sneaking and doing this and stuff, they're bringing it back to their women. And when they bring these things back to the men, a lot of times they bring back the STDs or, God forbid, whatever the case may be. You know, and I'm talking about, again, I'm talking about men cheating on women, they bring back a baby and stuff like that, you know, oops baby as they call it. I'm talking about men on the down low and stuff, and you know, since I've been in Ubala land, I met a lot of women and stuff like that, and you know, the thing about it is that I learned that before this, that a lot of things that the gay men used to do, you know, when they go down the street and stuff like that, they kind of stick them to the other guy, you know, the interest in them, kind of like, you know, flirt with him and stuff, and, you know, he'll pick up on this, oh my God, he's flirting with me. But I've learned that since I'm in this land, you know, this land right here, the same thing that the men did, the same things the women did. I'm going, So now I understand why men get caught, because the same thing that men are doing, the women are doing it as well. A woman will signal another woman and let her know that she's interested in her. I've been hit on a lot of times, and you know, when I go out and stuff like that, I'm just like a complete bum. You know, I got my hat on, you know, whatever it is, what it is, sweats on, because I'm a sweats freak, and you know, I love athletic wear as far as sports gear and my hat and stuff. No glamour, no nothing and stuff, and a lot of women find me to be very attractive. And the thing about it is that I can get a lot more women like this than I can with men, which I find to be very, So I'm thinking to myself, when it comes to women, I'm like, well, why would you want someone like me? Because of, but the thing about it is that they don't be knowing. They're judging me from the body the same, but the men judge you from the body. People go by first appearances first. But it's just funny because I'll be waiting one day that a woman going to stand up and say, well, we're doing the same thing y'all doing. It's just the only difference is we keep our mouths shut and y'all don't. Y'all get caught out there. And instead of saying, well, if we want to make it wrong, then we'll make it both wrong. We get to make it both right. But I've never heard a woman say that. One to stand up and say, well, we're doing it too. I guess most important thing is that we always want to be accepted and stuff. We don't care that we're shooting down a man and we're doing that stuff and shaming a man and, the parts that, the men are doing things that are not acceptable as far as society. But in the same breath, gay marriage has been approved. And two men that actually be married are afraid to walk down the street and hold hands because of society. And the same ones that's talking all that stuff about the gays and stuff be the ones that be talking about the down lifestyle. I watch women who talk about this as well. I'm not going out like that. I'm not going out like that. I have women to tell me, women that mess with other women, that men who mess with men, they said they find it disgusting. They don't understand why two men want to mess with each other when you have so many women. But in the same breath, she'll mess with another woman and she says, well, that's acceptable. We can do that. I just find it amazing how people make their own rules when it comes to what they want. I just don't think it's fair, but, that's how life is. Life is not being fair. It is what it is. And I just want to know, did you ever notice that? Because I know I noticed it. And I used to run a drag queen show. And drag queen means that females who dress up as dudes and they performed as dudes. And the thing about it is that they performed as men, and the conversation, if I didn't know any better, it sounded like a bunch of guys in there. The same things I heard guys say is the same things they said. But you know what's funny? When a guy walk into the room with all the women that's there, the room get really quiet. They don't say a word. They become this soft pink person. They just become, they don't say a word. But when he walks out, they go back to normal and talking and stuff. It's just really weird. And I feel as though if we start embracing the men more, we could cut the down lifestyle up instead of shooting down, then maybe so many things wouldn't be so negative, and so many murders and trans murders and gay being beat up, gay bash, and it's just a mess. And the thing about it is that a lot of gay men actually are dating straight men on the down low. I don't know. What else I find funny? Why is it that when a woman becomes a not become a lesbian, but when a woman is a lesbian, why does she chase after straight women? Why don't she mess with women within the already, in the rainbow thing? I noticed that too. Why do lesbians, not all lesbians, not all women, but why do they chase straight women and try to convert them over into being lesbians? And it's weird because when a gay man try to convert a straight man over to being gay, it's like beat him up, stomp him in the ground, da da da. But when it comes to a woman, a lot of times they end up pulling them, And I'm not saying everybody, I'm not saying all cases, but I just thought it was food for thought that I just was wondering, why is it that women will not stand up and say, yeah, we mess around too. The only difference is that we just don't tell y'all. Anyway, that being said, and I feel as though it would help if they would just break the ice stuff. It's just my opinion. You don't have to do it. But how do you feel about this? Do you know about this down lifestyle as far as the women? Because we always talk about the men, but what about the women? Because it's very much active. It's more active than you ever know. Anyway, that being said, I just want to share this story with you. And I'm going to let you know that I love you. And I want to thank you for watching. Catch the rain.